Hi, I'm Swarupa Sail, course instructor for fluid mechanics. In this presentation, we will check out the applications of surface tension and capillarity, and we will define bulk modulus and compressibility. Coming to the applications of surface tension, leveling of painted surface depends on the flow properties of the paint, and surface tension plays a very important role on the appearance of the paint. Hence, in many of the industrial processes, accurate measurement of surface tension is done as it determines the appearance of the paint. When an object is painted or coated, the coating surface tension must be carefully maintained in order to get the desired thickness or maybe even thickness throughout without creating any uneven patches. Let us consider this as the drop of a paint wherein angle theta is equal to value which is less than 90 degree. So it is referred to as low contact angle, and hence it is referred to as favorable wetting. That means there is positive influence on the leveling, and due to this the paint will spread over the surface, and from the figure we can see that there is good wetting of the paint. And in this sketch, theta is greater than 90 degree, which is referred to as high contact angle, and so it is referred to as unfavorable wetting. That means there is negative influence on the leveling. So the paint will minimize its contact with the substrate. So we can observe here that there is poor wetting of the paint with unevenness. Coming to the applications of capillary action. Capillary action determines the behavior of groundwater in the soil, which makes it important for civil and environmental engineers in understanding the stability of buildings and roads. Here we can see dampness in walls, which is due to upward movement of water from the soil onto the walls. And in this figure we can see that there are a number of patches along with cracks, that is also due to upward movement of water from the soil onto the different layers of the road or the pavement. Petroleum engineers use their understanding of capillary action in the extraction of crude oil from its rock reservoirs, and it is also used to transfer liquid from one container to another on its own. Now we will define bulk modulus. We will consider here a cylinder whose initial volume is V, as there is gas up to volume equal to V, and initial pressure is P, and it is increased from P to P plus dP. This is the initial position of the piston before application of the pressure onto the gas which is there in the cylinder. And when the pressure is increased from P to P plus dP, piston moves from position 1 to position 2. So due to this there is decrease in volume by amount dV. So increase in pressure is equal to dP. It is also denoted by term delta P, and change in volume is equal to minus dV, or it is also denoted by delta V. This negative sign indicates that volume of gas is reduced due to increase in pressure, and bulk modulus is equal to increase of pressure to volumetric strain, or it is also defined as stress by strain. So we write bulk modulus is equal to dP, that is increase in pressure, whole divided by minus dV by V, which is volumetric strain. And bulk modulus is denoted by K, which is equal to minus dP whole divided by dV by V. So we define bulk modulus as the ratio between pressure increase and the resulting decrease in the material's volume. Along with bulk modulus, that is E, the shear modulus G, and Hooke's law, bulk modulus describes the material's response to stress or strain. And K tells us about the compressibility of the fluids. Whether liquids can be compressed or not can be known by knowing the value of K. The value of K is used to predict compression, that is, it describes how resistant a liquid is to compression. And also, it describes the elastic properties because a compressed material returns to its original volume once the pressure is released. It is also used to find density of liquid, and it indicates the types of chemical bonding within a substance. And unit of K is Pascal or Newton per square meter. We know the formula to find K, that is K is equal to dP whole divided by dV by V. Unit of pressure is Newton per square meter as it is force divided by area. And unit of dV is meter cube and unit of V is also meter cube. So both will get cancelled out and hence we get unit of K as Newton per square meter. Here we can see a dam which is used to store water in a reservoir, and water from reservoir flows on to the turbine through a pipe called penstock. Here the fluid is at rest. There is no movement or flow of water in the pipe. When the valve is opened, liquid will flow along only one direction, that there is no reverse flow of water. But when valve is abruptly or suddenly closed, water will flow backwards and it will hit the material of the pipe with high impact, due to which there will be damage to the material of the pipe. So this is referred to as water hammering. We have to see to it that there is no damage being caused due to water hammering. So value of K helps us to find velocity of wave to address water hammer problems. Compressibility is the reciprocal of bulk modulus of elasticity. So compressibility is written as equal to 1 divided by bulk modulus. So it is equal to 1 divided by K. From this equation we can see that compressibility is inversely proportional to K. That means once K increases, compressibility decreases and vice versa. Here there is a gas being contained in a container wherein we can see that the molecules of gas are away from each other because there is low pressure being applied. And volume here is high. Volume is nothing but area into height. So area is pi r square and height is h. Initially, before application of pressure, volume of gas is high. And this is a disc which is used to compress the gas. Once the pressure is increased, due to lowering of this disc, gas molecules will come closer to each other. That means initial height is being reduced now. So, there is high pressure and low volume. With the increase in pressure, hence we know that the gases are highly compressible. Since compressibility is inversely proportional to bulk modulus for gases is low. Whereas if we consider diamond, we know that it is not very easy to compress it. So diamond has got low compressibility, and as compressibility is inversely proportional to K, bulk modulus is high. Now we will solve a simple problem. The change in volume of certain mass of liquids is 1 divided by 500th of original volume when pressure on it is increased by 5 MPa. Find the bulk modulus and compressibility of liquid. To begin with, write down all the given datas. First one is the change in volume. We denote change in volume by dV, which is equal to 1 divided by 500 of original volume. Original volume is denoted by V. And then the pressure is increased by 5 MPa. So dP is equal to 5 MPa. Mega is 10 raised to 6. So 5 MPa is written as 5 into 10 raised to 6 Newton per square meter, as 1 Pascal is equal to 1 Newton per square meter. With these data, we need to find bulk modulus and compressibility of liquid. To find out first term, that is bulk modulus, formula available is K is equal to dP whole divided by dV by V. Substitute the values given in the problem. dP is equal to 5 into 10 raised to 6 and dV by V is equal to 1 divided by 500. So we get value of K as 2.5 into 10 raised to 9 Pascal, or it can be written as 2.5 gigapascal. Next we need to find the value of compressibility. Formula available to find it is 1 divided by K. Value of K is already found out from the previous calculation. So 1 divided by 25 into 10 raised to 8 will give us the value of compressibility as 4 into 10 raised to minus 10 meters square per Newton. We know the unit of K is Newton per square meter. Since compressibility is inversely proportional to K, that is, it is equal to 1 divided by K. So unit of compressibility is meter square per Newton.